Good afternoon and welcome to the May edition of the GarethJohnstonGolf.com newsletter. I've had a lot of feedback of late with the request for some assistance to help people with compressing their iron shots to increase their attack angle, so they put a bit of a squeeze on the ball, so they collect the ball and then take a nice divot afterwards. And a lot of this comes from using the ground correctly and aligning your sternum correctly, but more importantly, ensuring that you get the right wrist angles as you approach the golf ball. Now, as you watch Luke Donald here, just note how as he moves up to the top of the swing, he starts his downswing with a little lateral bunt toward the target. Now you'll see here, I've spoken about this in past newsletters, but I'm going to give you a nice drill in which to achieve this. So you'll see here how his golf ball is just forward of centre in his stance, and as he starts his swing, he starts to shift his belt buckle out in front of that ball and gets his sternum moving nicely on top of it. So he's what we call covering the golf ball with the centre of his body, with the column of his body. Now as you see here in this particular position, if I draw a line from his sternum to the golf ball, you can see how it is nicely out in front of it. His lead wrist is on top of the golf ball, slightly in front of it with the club head trailing. So essentially his weight has moved into his front foot nice and early. Now the drill I've done here is I've put the ball off my left big toe. So I've moved it a good 6 to 8 inches further forwards than it would be normally. And you address the normal point in your stance. So you start in a normal position, and what you have to learn to do is shift into your left side in such a way that allows you to cover that golf ball that is in line with your left big toe. So here I am at the top. As I start to move down, it then requires a lateral bunt. It needs me to move into my left side. And now you can see where the ball is at present. I'm still now moving nicely on top of it. So from where that line is that I've left on the screen, I would have nicely got on top of that golf ball. Now, of course, because the ball is so far forward, my hands are going to work on top of that in order to compress the ball properly. But it is a nice way of exaggerating the move that is required. A nice leftward shift into the front foot. A nice move whereby the belt buckle and the sternum move out on top of or slightly in front of the golf ball, and you are getting the club head to trail the hands. And you can see here, although it's slightly exaggerated because the ball is so far forward, there is that symmetry between the image on the right and on the left, other than the fact that he hits the ball distinctly better than I do. But nonetheless, this drill is a great way to help you hit fairway woods well, to help you compress your irons, to help you hit hybrids with a slightly downward blow, gets you using the ground and gets you aligning the column on your body correctly. So what I would suggest, if you wanted to really make a big inroad into this drill, is just shift this ball slightly further forward than what I've got it, and just hit 5 balls with the ball forwards and then 5 balls with the ball in its normal place, trying to replicate that same movement that you're making when you use the drill. You'll then find you get nicely on top of it, you put a bit of a squeeze on it. Just remember, when you use this drill in a ball in that forward position, you should pull it or you should fade it. You should never be starting it right or straight, because the ball being that far forward influences your swing path. This will make sure that you can keep that club more under control. Now, this is great for that guy that also gets the club working a little bit too far behind him, a little bit too far under plane, hits lots of big draws, starts the ball a long way right. So having this ball further forward does a number of things, but more importantly, it gets you using the ground properly and having to shift on top of the golf ball, which is essential within the golf swing. So, hope this has helped. If you have any further questions or if you'd like anything else answered, please email me at gareth@garethjohnstongolf.com, or alternatively visit my website www.garethjohnstongolf.com and get yourself booked in for a lesson with me through there. Happy golfing, see you all soon.